Hi, y'all. Okay, so I hope some of you watched my Periscope earlier today, especially if it is wedding season at your house. So my noon Periscope was about being the mother of the bride, which I have experienced twice. And now tonight I'm talking about being the mother of the groom. Thanks, Susan. That's my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com. For past Periscopes, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a counselor and ordained Christian minister, and I have 4 children, but 3 are married, and so that makes 7 kids now. So 7 kids and 9 grandkids, almost 10. There's going to be 10 by the time June comes around. So our family has grown and expanded, and you've got lots of time to prepare. But for all of my friends and all my Periscopers that are in this stage of life, this is really helpful. And I know that. In fact, I got a request for these Periscopes earlier today, and I was like, perfect, I'll do it. We're right here at wedding season. I work for a state program called Together in Texas, and so I do premarital counseling. Not quite half my clients are there for premarital counseling, and the rest for other marriage and family. But the premarital counseling program with Together in Texas is an incredible program. It really helps couples prepare for their marriage. And so we talk a lot about weddings and the do's and don'ts and the things that make it go really smoothly and the things that really cause a lot of pressure and lots of things that really will make things not go smoothly. So oftentimes that is really a result of the mom and how the mom, the mother of the bride or the mother of the groom, whatever the case might be, how she responds in a situation can either add to a lot of stress or it can relieve a lot of stress. So watch the noon Periscope if you're the mother of the bride. But if you're the mother of the groom, I just want to give you some tips that are really going to make a difference. Number 1 is as soon as your son introduces his new bride to you, or he'll probably tell you that he's in love with this girl and he's going to be proposing to her, or that he just has, but at some point you're going to be introduced to her as someone that your son has fallen in love with. At that time, it's really important that you really welcome her with open arms and that you are excited that he loves her and so you love her, and you want to be excited. You want to be supportive. You are in a supportive role. Your son's an adult. He's made this adult decision, and this is the woman that he's chosen to love, and she's part of your family now. So you want to really, really welcome her with open arms, and you want her to feel loved and special. So after the engagement, it's important to welcome her family and to meet her family and to tell them that you just consider them family now too, that you're all going to be sharing grandkids. So you want to make that introduction. Now that's your responsibility right away to reach out to her parents, invite them over for dinner. It's your home is a lovely gesture. Or you can, make reservations and meet them at a restaurant. If they are out of town, you'll want to send a letter, the old-fashioned snail mail way, a handwritten letter saying that we are just so excited about the wedding and about our children being engaged. But you want to really offer, and extend the love and the appreciation that their daughter is going to be your daughter-in-law. You want that connection. And that is your responsibility to make as the mother of the groom. Then the first thing you want to do after that is talk about budget. And I talked about this earlier on my Periscope, but I will go ahead and say this again tonight. That budget that you have set aside as the parents for your children's wedding, and I think it's really important to plan that because we want to be supportive and we want to be prepared. Sometimes their engagements really aren't that long and you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare, so you've got to really think about this in advance. And I know it's a lot, you've got them through high school and now college and now it's wedding, but this is the last thing, and you want to really send them out of that nest with a good relationship, knowing that they're well supported. So we set aside $10,000, and that's what we gave each of our kids for their wedding. Well, you might say, well, as the parents of the bride, you have to pay for a lot more, or traditionally, if you're going to do that, follow the traditional etiquette, you pay for the whole wedding, where the parents of the groom just pay for a few things, not as much. Well, we decided to go ahead and set aside the same amount of money for each child because the groom does have expenses. They're different than the brides. They're not as much per se for the wedding event itself. However, he has to buy the ring, he has to provide for the honeymoon, and you want him to feel supported and loved in this time. So you want to tell him, just like you told the bride, if that was the situation, this is our gift to you. And give that to him as a gift, meaning that you release control over the money. Because if you remain in control of that money, that's going to cause conflict. Because this is their wedding. They want to plan their wedding. He wants to plan the honeymoon. They're planning their future. So these are decisions that they're making together. Well, if you feel like you have control over the decision because you are giving money towards the wedding, that's going to cause too much conflict because people with the money have the power, right? And then you have the power to determine how expensive, things are, how much money you're going to spend on things, and you'll choose something more or less expensive based on your personal taste. But your kid's taste is going to be different than yours. And this is the process of you releasing them into marriage. So there's that whole leave and cleave thing that's going to be happening, and it's happening now. This is the beginning, and it'll officially happen at the wedding. And then you've got the rest of your life to just prove that to the value of yours and really truly let them go so that they can have the opportunity to cleave to their spouse. But as you give this gift of however much money, depending on your budget, to your son, as the mother of the groom, you and your husband do this together, you give this gift, you release control over it, but let him know that this is for him to give this money to his bride for the wedding expenses. So a portion of that money to his bride for the wedding expenses, because they're going to have to budget some things together, and he's going to have to do things like pay for the bride's bouquet. Is traditionally the groom will cover that. He'll traditionally cover the cost of the marriage license, the officiant's fee or the minister's fee, his own tuxedo or his new suit, whatever he chooses to purchase, a gift for his bride, gifts for his groomsmen and his best man, gifts maybe for the parents and grandparents for his side of the family, the ring, of course, and that's quite an expense, and then the honeymoon. So he's going to need to budget that out and save his part of the money for things that he needs to pay for, and then give her the money that she needs to add to the wedding budget for the things that she needs to handle. So but that's for him to budget, and that is your gift to him. So once you like this, Jeannie, once you release this gift to them, then they make the decisions, and then you are hands off. So they're probably not going to ask your opinion. If they do ask your opinion, you can give it, but they're probably really not going to. They're going to ask each other, and they're going to converse, and they're going to make decisions. And most of the decisions, honestly, are probably going to be different than the decisions that you would make, but it's not about you. You have your decisions to make. They have their decisions to make. It is wonderful. I have enjoyed being the mother of the groom. It was wonderful with my son's wedding. It was, so there's so many less details to worry about. But it's a lot of fun just being in that supportive role with him. It's different because he spent so much time over at Chelsea's house and with the Moores doing the wedding planning. So I wasn't involved as much as I was with my daughters, but it was wonderful, to do that. Oh, I'm so glad that you had a good situation. That's awesome. Also, as the mother of the groom, you're responsible to provide a guest list in a timely manner. So you'll ask the mother of the bride and the bride how many guests they would like for your side of the family to invite. They might say 10, 5 couples, or they might say 50 couples, or they might say 20 couples. Whatever they say, you can invite 100 people. Whatever they say, you need to give them a list, and it needs to be thorough, including names, addresses, and including zip codes, and give it to them very quickly so that they don't have to wait on you for that guest list, because they need it, and they shouldn't have to wait on you. So that's something you're going to have to really hop to, and you're going to have to help your son with that. So that's really a mother of the groom responsibility, that guest list for your side of the family and your close friends. Okay, now you're not going to go shopping for your dress first. You will wait and take that back seat while the mother of the bride shops for her dress first. And then you will follow suit. So if she buys a long dress, then she'll let you know. Then you'll also buy a long dress. Or if she buys a short dress, you'll buy a short dress. You can even ask the bride and her mother, what color of dress, would you suggest me to buy? Because your dress needs to be a complementary color, not the same as the other mother, not the same as the bridesmaids, not not black or white. So it's got to be a complementary color, and they might have a good idea. If you're developing a good relationship with your future daughter-in-law and her mother, they might even want to go shopping with you, or you and your son might want to go shopping together, if he wants to spend that time with you. But, you can make it a special thing, but you want to put some thought into that, but don't do it too soon, because you need to let the mother of the bride have her turn first. Okay, and then you'll be responsible for hosting the out-of-town guests that are your guests from your side of the family and your friends. And then also, you're going to need to talk to your son about choosing the special song that you and he will dance to at the wedding. And so, that's something that you would think that would be not a big deal, but sometimes that's kind of hard to figure out what song you want to dance to. Then you and your son can practice dancing, so you guys are well prepared for that wedding reception, that time where they do the mother-son dance, and that's such a special moment. But I had a great time with my son. Here's a picture of my son and his wife and their wedding album, and I made my own wedding albums, and the photographer just provided me with the pictures to be able to do that, and then I made my own wedding album so that it would match my wedding albums for my daughter's weddings, and then they can all be displayed on the shelf together. I showed that earlier today. So those are just some tips of being the mother of the groom. Now tomorrow I'm going to Periscope about what it means to really become an in-law, and what it means, for either way, for the bride or the groom to become, to enter into a new family. There's some awkwardness there, and there's got, it could be a little tense sometimes, and there's expectations, but we want that to be a smooth transition. And then you also want to be a smooth transition welcoming somebody into your family. So these are things I'm going to talk about tomorrow. In-law relationships can be tricky. I have found this to be really the most tricky relationship of my life, wanting to do it really well, and sometimes wanting so badly to do it well that I overthink it and try too hard, But it could be a natural transition, and it really should be a relationship that you want to work on, and you want to do it right if at all possible. So I'm going to try to help you to be a good in-law, regardless of, if you're the parent or the child. I want to help you be a good in-law, so I'm going to do that tomorrow and for the next few days. But God bless you guys. Thanks for Periscoping with me tonight. And hey, this necklace would be a great gift, right, Jeannie? This rooted necklace would be a great gift for your future daughter-in-law. All right, you guys, have a great night, and I'll be back tomorrow at noon and 9. Bye-bye.